In the world of construction, the strongest materials are often invisible. A hummingbird hovers near a spider web, its wings beating so fast they almost disappear. With surgical precision, it reaches forward and plucks a single strand of spider silk. Dose. It looks delicate. To an engineer, this is biological steel. That thread will become part of one of nature's smallest and most sophisticated homes, the hummingbird nest. A tiny chub, hidden among leaves, covered with moss and lichen, soft enough for eggs, strong enough for wind, and flexible enough to grow with the chicks inside. This is not a pile of random material. This is engineering without hands. No blueprint, no ruler, no construction crew, no written plan. Only beak, feet, instinct, memory, trial, error, and millions of years of evolutionary design. To humans, a nest may look simple. A few sticks, some grass, a soft lining. But to a bird, a nest is a calculated solution to a physics problem. It must hold weight, resist wind, control temperature, hide from predators, drain water, fight parasites, protect eggs, and sometimes impress amate. Every nest is a structure built under pressure. Every material has a purpose. The hummingbird begins with spider silk because spider silk offers something rare: strength and elasticity. At the same time, it can stretch without breaking. It can hold the nest together while allowing it to expand. As the chicks grow, the nest grows with them, widening like natural spandex. If the nest were rigid, it would crack. If it were too soft, it would collapse. But with silk woven through plant fibers, moss, and lichen, the nest becomes flexible architecture. A nursery that stretches with life. And the camouflage is just as clever. Lichen on the outside makes the nest look like part of the branch. A predator may pass inches away and never notice the tiny home hidden in plain sight. Small does not mean simple. Small often means more precise. But some birds go far beyond flexible cups. Meet the weaver bird. Hanging upside down from a branch, it holds a blade of grass with its foot and threads it through a growing structure with its beak. Loop after loop, pull after pull, the bird ties, tightens, and interlocks fibers into a hanging nest. This is not stacking. This is weaving. A weaver bird can create knots, loops, tunnels, and chambers using only a beak and feet. It distributes weight across the branch, balances tension, and builds an entrance that may help keep predators out. If the weaving is weak, the nest falls. If the entrance is wrong, a mate may reject it. For the male weaver, architecture is courtship. The nest is not only a home, it is proof of skill. A female inspects the structure. She tests the weave. She judges the entrance. She decides whether the builder is worthy. In this world, bad engineering means no family. The stakes are life and death. In the caves of Southeast Asia, another bird solves a different problem. There are no branches deep inside the limestone darkness. null grass. No soft plant fibers. No easy building material. So the swiftlet uses its own body. It builds a nest from saliva. Layer by layer, the bird presses strands of sticky saliva against the cave wall. As the saliva dries, it hardens into a strong, translucent structure glued to stone. This biological cement becomes the cradle for its eggs. The material is rich in proteins and glycoproteins, which is why these nests became famous as the base of bird's nest soup, one of the most expensive delicacies in the world. But before it is luxury food, it is survival engineering. A nest made from the mouth of a bird, attached to a vertical wall in darkness, strong enough to hold life above the cave floor. The swiftlet turns scarcity into architecture. Some birds solve safety not by building stronger walls, but by choosing dangerous neighbors. A tiny nest hangs near a wasp colony. It looks reckless. Why would any bird build near insects that can sting? Because the wasps are security guards. A monkey approaches. A snake climbs. A predator moves too close. Then it notices the wasps and retreats. The bird has turned another animal's danger into its own defense system. This is psychological warfare. The nest may not be stronger than the predator, but the predator's fear makes it safe. In the Kalahari Desert, the social weaver takes architecture to a completely different scale. These birds do not build tiny private homes. They build cities. A massive structure of grass and twigs hangs from a tree like a giant hay roof. Inside are dozens, sometimes hundreds, of separate chambers. Families live side by side, protected beneath a shared roof. Some of these nests can last for decades. Some may be used for more than a century. An avian apartment complex. A city built by beaks. But the real genius is climate control. In the desert, temperatures swing between brutal heat and cold nights. The thick thatched roof acts as insulation. Outer chambers may be cooler. Inner chambers may stay warmer. The entire structure becomes a natural air conditioning system. No electricity. No thermostat. No human architect. Just collective engineering. The nest is not only shelter. It is infrastructure. Other birds build with mud. Swallows gather tiny pellets from riverbanks, mix them with saliva, and carry them back one trip at a time. A single nest can require hundreds or even more than 1,000 trips. Each mud pellet becomes a brick. The saliva helps bind the mud. The nest dries into a hard structure attached to walls, cliffs, or buildings. It is masonry made by wings. The rufous horned arrow goes further, building a clay nest that looks like a small oven on a branch or post. Thick walls resist weather. A curved entrance helps block wind and rain. Inside, the chamber stays protected. This is not random mud. This is architecture with drainage, insulation, and storm resistance. Mud becomes shelter. Saliva becomes mortar. Grass becomes rebar. Birds understand reinforcement long before humans gave it a name. Some nests are built to hang. Oropendolas create long, sock-like nests suspended from the tips of thin branches. A snake may try to reach them, but the branch bends. The nest swings, and gravity becomes the defender. The danger is not blocked by a wall. It is defeated by placement. A hanging nest uses physics as security. If it swings, it survives. If it were rigid, it would snap. This is the pendulum effect turned into home design. Some birds use chemistry. They weave aromatic leaves, herbs, or fresh green plants into their nests. Certain plants can repel parasite, reduce emesis, or slow bacterial growth. A nest is not only a structure, it is a nursery, and nurseries must stay clean. Other birds use feathers, wool, moss, fur, or plant down to line the interior. An eider duck plucks soft down from her own breast to insulate her eggs in Arctic cold. The mother literally uses her body to build warmth for the next generation. Every soft lining is thermal engineering. Every feather traps air. Every layer protects fragile life from the outside world. Cleanliness matters too. Parent birds may remove fecal sacs from the nest, carrying waste away so disease and scent do not build up. This is sanitation, a biological diaper system. Nest hygiene is survival. The best home is not only strong, it is clean. Some birds build underground. Kingfishers dig tunnels into riverbanks, sometimes several feet long. The tunnel may slope in ways that reduce flooding risk. The nesting chamber stays hidden, cool, and protected. Some birds use cactus holes, letting spines become walls. Some use tree cavities. Some use cliffs. Some use reeds. Some use human buildings, bridges, wires, and even coat hangers. In cities, crows and other birds have learned to use what we leave behind. Wire becomes framework. Plastic becomes waterproofing. String becomes binding. Human trash becomes ancient design with modern materials. Birds are the ultimate recyclers. They adapt faster than we expect. But not all avian architecture is for raising chicks. The bowerbird builds a palace of seduction. The male satin bowerbird is obsessed with color, especially blue. He collects blueberries, shells, flowers, plastic straws, bottle caps, and fragments of human objects, arranging them carefully around his display court. This is not a nest. This is a showroom. A stage. A visual argument. He arranges objects by size and color. He may use forced perspective, placing larger objects farther away and smaller ones closer, creating an illusion that makes himself appear larger from the female's viewpoint. This is design psychology. Interior decoration. Optical manipulation. A bird using geometry to influence perception. The female arrives, inspects the display, and judges the builder. In the bowerbird's world, aesthetics become survival. Color choice matters. Arrangement matters. Taste matters. Some birds build with heat instead of walls. The megapode, including birds like the malleefowl and bush turkey, has nearly retired from sitting on eggs. Instead, it builds a mound of soil, leaves, and compost. As the plant material decays, it produces heat. A natural incubator. The bird checks the temperature by inserting its beak into the mound. If it is too hot, it removes material. If it is too cold, it adds more. It maintains the eggs at a precise temperature, sometimes around 33 degrees Celsius. This is thermodynamic. A compost-powered nursery. A bird acting as engineer, gardener, and temperature technician. No parent sitting on the eggs. Just heat management. Some mound builders create enormous structures, many times their own body size. For a small bird, this is like a human building a skyscraper by hand. But the builder keeps working, scratching, testing, adjusting, maintaining. The nest is alive as a system. Bird architecture also improves with experience. Young birds often make mistakes. They drop materials, choose weak branches, build loose structures. But over time, they learn. Older birds often build better nests. Instinct gives the blueprint. Experience improves the construction. This matters because no two sites are exactly the same. A branch bends differently. Wind comes from a different direction. Rain collects in a different place. A good builder must adapt. This is engineering under real-world conditions. There are no perfect materials, only smart choices. Some birds camouflage the entire home. A potu nesting on a broken stump becomes almost indistinguishable from bark. Ground nesting birds match eggs to gravel, grass, or sand. Some nests are hidden in reeds, shadows, or thorny branches. The best design is sometimes invisibility. Other birds rely on colonies. Gulls, penguins, weavers, and cliff nesting species use numbers. Every neighbor becomes a lookout. If danger approaches, the entire colony erupts. Noise, movement, and mobbing become a living defense system. One nest is vulnerable. 1,000 nests become a fortress. The design is social. Birds also orient nests with care. Some face the sun for warmth. Some avoid prevailing wind. Some use overhanging roofs to shed rain. Some use thick walls for thermal mass, absorbing heat during the day and releasing it at night. Nothing is wasted. The shape of the rim, the angle of the entrance, the thickness of the wall, the softness of the lining, the choice of branch, the distance from predators. All of it matters. And when a nest fails, birds often rebuild. Sometimes in the same place, sometimes stronger. Failure becomes data. Collapse becomes a lesson. This is what makes bird architecture so astonishing. It is not one design. It is thousands of solutions to thousands of problems. A hummingbird builds a stretching cup. A weaver ties grass into suspended chambers. A swiftlet glues saliva to stone. A swallow makes bricks from mud. A social weaver builds a desert city. A bowerbird designs a color-coded palace. A megapode turns compost into an incubator. Every species solves a different engineering challenge. And all of this is done without hands. The beak becomes pliers, needle, hammer, shovel, paintbrush, glue gun, and measuring tool. The feet hold, anchor, twist, pull, and test. The body becomes crane, sensor, and construction machine. A bird does not need a blueprint on paper. The blueprint is in behavior, in instinct, in trial, in the memory of ancestors, in the pressure of survival. Humans build towers, bridges, stadiums, and cities. We use steel, concrete, software, and machines. Yet many of our greatest design ideas echo what birds have already solved: insulation, ventilation, lightweight structure, flexible joints, passive cooling, camouflage, material recycling, and cooperative housing. We are still catching up. The next time you look up and see a nest in a tree, do not see only sticks. See physics. See chemistry. See shelter. See strategy. See a structure that had to survive wind, rain, heat, cold, predators, parasites, and the restless growth of life inside it. See a masterpiece of art and science. Without blueprints or hands, birds are nature's most talented engineers. And every nest is a quiet declaration. Life is worth building for.